Oh, and by the way, I'm not inviting Kody and Robyn to my wedding.
Hell no.
Not gonna do that to me. Nope.
Do you guys need help?
Did the producers try to get Kody at Christine's wedding? It's possible the Facebook closed captioning got it wrong, but when she says, "You're not going to do that to me," it definitely sounds like she's telling the producers no, probably because they were hoping to bring Kody in for some drama. I can totally see why they'd want him there. Conflict equals ratings, after all. But seriously, it would have been a major power move if Christine shut that idea down. Honestly though, I wish the production team would make the cast interact more often, like how they do on shows like The Real Housewives. Right now, it feels like they're all filming separate storylines that don't even connect. Who cares about random scenes of Meri chatting with friends, Christine and David making out, or Janelle buying land with Maddie? It's like they've completely scrapped any sense of cohesion. And don't even get me started on the lack of reunions. Like, what happened to those? It's honestly getting kind of ridiculous. Having worked in production myself, I can tell you that it would be insane not to at least ask about bringing Kody to the wedding. Even if they knew it was a long shot, they'd still consider it. It's part of the reality TV game. Of course they tried. It would have been a goldmine for ratings. Honestly, they should have built that into the contract when they paid for the wedding. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Meri tonally pulled a masterclass in emotional detachment when Robyn showed up. Did anyone else catch that? Robyn was practically begging for some kind of emotional response, but Meri, she couldn't have cared less. No tears, no drama, just a cold, dry gray rock technique at its finest. She didn't even want to open the present Robyn brought her, leaving Robyn to awkwardly unwrap it herself. Talk about sending a message. Meri was done playing the emotional supply game for Robyn. And can we talk about Meri's line, "It's about me today"? Paraphrasing, of course. Robyn's all teary-eyed, trying to make it this emotional moment, and Kody is about to swoop in and rescue Robyn from her feelings. But Meri sees right through it. She knows Robyn's whole act is to steal the spotlight, turn everything into a drama show, and make it about her. Meanwhile, Meri, she's just over here like, "We have phones," making it clear that Robyn's little emotional display is nothing but a show for the cameras. Seriously, when did Robyn become such a drama queen? Coming in hot with her crocodile tears, trying to make it seem like it's a heartbreaking farewell when she's barely spoken to Meri in years, and never made an effort to keep in touch. I mean, the audacity. And that whole bit with the journal? Robyn hauled Meri into her house, thinking she could guilt-trip her into some kind of emotional breakdown. But Meri, she wasn't having it. She barely batted an eye when she said, "It's pretty." Robyn's face said it all. The guilt trip wasn't working. A real friend would have made time for a cup of coffee, a real goodbye, off camera, away from all the drama. But Robyn, she was just looking for her emotional payoff. And when she didn't get the reaction she craved, she was visibly disappointed. Meri, though, she's seeing through it all. As she's letting go of Kody, she's finally seeing Robyn's behavior for what it really is, manipulation, and she's done suppressing it. I loved how Meri kept trying to wrap things up with that parting gift, completely unfazed by Robyn's tears. My absolute favorite part? As Meri walks away, she casually drops, "Well, we both have phones." Boom, shots fired. And Christine, she's not buying it either. Robyn, with her waterworks, trying to manipulate Meri into staying when everyone knows the marriage is crumbling, and she can't even make time for Meri unless the cameras are rolling. Yeah, that's manipulation, all right. Robyn may have thought she was pulling the strings, but Meri's the one who's been in control all along. I'm honestly so proud of Meri for just gray rocking the hell out of Robyn. The woman's a master at it now, and I think we all need to take notes. Robyn just had to make it about herself once again, but Meri, she didn't let her get away with it. Next time, I'd love to see Meri just straight up refuse to film with Robyn. Let Robyn have her show. Meri's over it. The irony is almost too much to handle. So Robyn's been playing the victim card, whining about how she's the idiot left behind, but simultaneously hasn't made any effort to include Meri in her life, let alone let her meet the kids. Classic case of hypocrisy. It's like she's complaining about being abandoned when she's been the one shutting out everyone else all along. And then there's Christine, who nails it. Robyn never truly embraced polygamy. She never tried to build any meaningful relationships with her sister wives. Instead, she acts like Christine and Janelle are somehow terrible to her when, in reality, Robyn is the one keeping Meri at arm's length. Meri, who just wants some connection and companionship, especially after everything she's sacrificed to stay in this family. Honestly, the irony is a whole mood. Robyn and Kody always act like Christine and Janelle were awful sister wives to Robyn, but behind the scenes, Robyn's the one keeping Meri isolated and alone. They've all been playing this "we're a big happy family" act for the cameras, but it's pretty clear that it's been nothing but smoke and mirrors. The core idea of the family was always about raising the kids as full siblings, but Robyn's jealousy and insecurity have torn that apart. She's so threatened by the other wives that she won't even allow Meri, who literally sacrificed her own legal marriage and protections for the sake of this family, to have a relationship with her kids. I mean, come on, how deluded is it that the woman who gave up everything to be part of this family, the one who put in the effort, is now being kept away from the very children she helped raise? It's a level of hypocrisy that can't be ignored. Meri might have her secrets, but she's already hinted at revealing them one day, maybe even in a book. And it's not like Robyn's been the most communicative either. Meri said before that she's the one who always has to reach out to Robyn. But Robyn, nah, she's got her own agenda, and it doesn't involve real family bonds. It's clear that Meri genuinely cared about Robyn's kids. As a parent, why wouldn't you want someone who loves your kids and cares for them deeply to have a relationship with them? But no, Robyn's either punishing Meri for something no one will talk about or trying to keep her at a distance for reasons that are still a mystery. It's frustrating because none of this adds up. Robyn's been talking the talk about living the perfect polygamous life, but in reality, she's been all about the monogamous mindset, only stepping into the polygamy game when it was convenient for her to oust another wife. It's all falling apart, and I think it's only a matter of time before it blows up in Robyn's face. Robyn's at it again. In the latest episode, Meri gets all teary-eyed about moving away from Robyn's kids, who she's always cared about and tried to build a relationship with. And then, of course, she drops the bomb that for years, she's reached out to Robyn to see the kids, but only got excuses or crickets in response. Oh, I'm fuming over that fake sob story. You're begging Meri to stick around, but can't even let her see your kids? Are you kidding me? I really wish Robyn would be forced to answer for that, but we all know that'll never happen. I think it was last season when Meri said that unless she's the one reaching out first or the cameras are rolling, Robyn flat out ignores her. Classic Robyn move. She wanted sister wives in name only. You know, just to keep up appearances. Robyn's over here robbing everyone blind, taking the wives' money, stealing their time with Kody, and now even cutting Meri off from her relationship with the kids. It's like she's a pro at being a con artist. Christine's divorce has been a huge turning point in her life, and while I'm genuinely happy she's found happiness again, some of her comments really hit a nerve, especially for those of us who grew up in divorced families. I completely get where Isabel's coming from when she said, they aren't taking the time to think about what could go wrong. It's spot on. Christine's all about the emotional high of it, and sure, that can work, but it's hardly the best foundation to build on. Her whole approach is based on vibes and feelings, not actual thought. It's like she's just coasting along on instinct, but real life doesn't always work out that way. What gets me is how dismissive she is of the kids' emotions. It's like their feelings don't matter. She doesn't give them any time to process or feel comfortable with the changes. It's pretty callous, especially in some of her interviews where she talks about them like they're just inconvenient background noise. The whole thing reeks of too bad, get over it, and that's incredibly hard for kids of divorce to swallow. On one hand, I get it. She didn't grow up learning how to think critically. She was raised with this narrow view that being married and having kids was her purpose, and she had to follow the lead of some guy. So it makes sense she's now running full speed into romantic love after years of being starved for affection from Kody. And let's be real, she's probably never had the chance to truly figure out who she is or what she wants until now. So yeah, I'm not totally against her getting remarried. It's fast by Western standards, sure, but she looks genuinely happy. And after all she's been through with Kody, I think she deserves it. To be a good mom, you have to be fulfilled yourself. Even if it doesn't work out, she needs this for her own well-being. That said, there's this undeniable sense that her emotional maturity got stunted by Kody. She left him and immediately fell back into her pre-Kody self, throwing any semblance of critical thinking out the window in the process. But the truth is, our triggers are on us, not her. I did the feelings. It's hard seeing someone who's been through divorce make choices that seem reckless. But honestly, as a child of divorce, I know firsthand that some parents are way better off apart than together. It's not about throwing shade on Christine. It's about acknowledging that these adults are doing what they feel is best for them, and their kids are adults now too. What's bothering me lately is how much people are trying to twist every little thing Christine, Janelle, or Meri do into some personal attack on their kids. It feels like people are just scraping the bottom of the barrel to find something to complain about. Honestly, it reminds me of my narcissistic mother, who would latch onto the tiniest things to make her own issues everyone else's problem. The way I see it, Isabel's frustration is coming from the fact that her dad is punishing her for Christine's decisions. That's not on Christine. That's all Kody's mess to own. Did I hear that right? David actually made a comment about being surprised they cleaned their house while babysitting for my Keltie? Yep, he did. And Christine was all like, I can't believe you just said that. After all these years of being on TV, you'd think they'd have learned what to say and not say on camera, but apparently David's still catching up. I had to laugh when he said that. Honestly though, if I had newborn twins and a toddler running around, my house would be a disaster zone for at least 6 months. But hey, I have to admit, their house probably stays as clean as Tony looks well-groomed, so it's probably just a running joke between them. They love teasing each other, and honestly, my Keltie and Tony seem to have warmed up to David more than anyone else. It didn't seem like a dig at all. It felt like a playful comment, something they probably all laughed about afterward. David was just genuinely surprised. I think what he meant was that the house was impressively clean, considering the chaos of a toddler and twins. It wasn't a negative remark, it was just beyond his expectations. It's definitely something that's been noticed by everyone, but never really said out loud. And let's be real, Meri was basically the only one with a clean house on the show, while we've seen Kody literally step over piles of laundry in Janelle's hallway. And Christine? Well, it seems like she only really had a clean house once most of her kids were old enough to fend for themselves, which might be a sign that she's finally managing her depression better these days. Christine's parenting choice is honestly mind-blowing. As someone who grew up in a divorced family and went through the whole awkward teen phase while my mom was dating, I just can't get behind what she's doing. She comes off like this super devoted mom who'd do anything for her kids, until, of course, she moves a guy in with her teenage daughters just 2 months after meeting him. Yeah, anything for her kids except, basic common sense, or showing any kind of responsibility when it comes to who she lets around them. Let's be real, there's a reason these predators go after women like Christine. She's vulnerable, desperate for love, and rushing into relationships without any consideration for the safety of her children. It's like she's in this constant defiance mode, talking about how she doesn't care what anyone thinks. If I were Kody, I'd be flipping out over the potential danger this guy poses to Truly. But no, apparently, it's all just fine, right? Sure, let's put a stranger in a vulnerable kid's space. Great decision-making there. The reality is, every single one of these people has dropped the ball when it comes to parenting. Their kids' needs have come second, over and over again. This is hardly a surprise, especially after Maddie's comment early on in the series that they don't believe a word their parents say anymore because nothing they promise actually happens. I can relate because, when my parents divorced, my dad took it slow with introducing us to his new girlfriend. She's now my stepmom, and I'm honestly glad my dad was careful about it. My mom, not so much. She didn't give a second thought about the men she brought around us, and I can't even begin to count how many times I had to fend off creepy advances. Luckily, I was able to stand my ground, but the risk of things going horribly wrong, of real, awful harm, was there. And you know what? I told my mom about it. Her response? Didn't care. Christine's actions are a textbook example of how not to handle dating with kids in the picture. Even if David turns out to be the most wonderful stepdad in the world, it doesn't change the fact that she took a huge, unnecessary risk and did it fast, with no thought or care for the potential consequences. 2 months. That's beyond reckless. I get it. I'm a single mom myself, and after hearing too many horror stories, I made the choice not to date while my kids were still at home. It's not about bragging. It's just that my kids always came first. Christine made a choice that put Truly's safety at risk, and it just doesn't sit right with me. Watching this unfold on TV makes me uncomfortable, especially when it's clear that Truly wasn't considered in the rush to get together. None of this adds up. I'm kind of done with the Christine and David saga. I'm genuinely happy for Christine, but at this point, the whole Christine is head over heels for David storyline is just draining. Honestly, it feels like she's trying so hard to convince herself she's into this guy. It's almost painful to watch. A year ago, this sub was losing its mind over the idea of a Southwest sequel starring just Christine and Janelle. And if you even dared to laugh at that concept, you were downvoted into oblivion. But the excitement back then wasn't about Christine ditching Janelle for some guy. No, it was about Christine and Janelle as strong, independent women living their best lives, traveling, and finding joy together as friends. That was the dream. Instead, we're getting Christine awkwardly trying to make out with David in front of her kids. Totally not the vibe we were expecting. Two very different viewer expectations, if you ask me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.